What if I told you that optimism isn't something you're born with, but something you can train? And that learning, it could quietly become the greatest advantage you have in life. Today, I'm going to show you how the most optimistic people stay hopeful, not because their lives are easier, but because they have mastered an internal skill most of us ignore. Welcome back to Art to Heart podcast. Today is episode 44 of our ongoing series, the show where we talk mindset, growth, and small shifts that create big transformation. I'm your host, Rana, and today we are diving into a topic that's simple to understand but surprisingly difficult to practice consistently. The art of being optimistic is not fake positivity, not forced smile, not good vibes only. I'm talking about real optimism, the type that can strengthen your resilience, sharpen your decision making, and shape how you see every challenge that arrives in your life. So let's unpack how to cultivate it, protect it, and live it with every day. One of the biggest myths about optimism is that it's naive. People imagine optimists walking around with unrealistic expectations, smiling through chaos, pretending everything is fine when it isn't. But true optimism is not blind positivity, it's actually mental strength. Think about it. If optimism were about ignoring problems, the most optimistic people would crumble the life the moment it gets difficult. But that's not what happens. The real optimists, the one who inspire you, are usually the same people who have lived through tough seasons, obstacles, failure that would have broken someone else. You may not be able to take their problems. Trust me when I say this. What makes them different is the question we should ask ourselves. They don't assume life will be easy, they simply assume they will find a way through it. Optimism is active, it's intentional, it's a decision to look at a challenge and say, okay, this is not an ideal, but there is something here I can use. There is a solution I haven't found yet. There is a lesson, a new direction, or a possibility I haven't explored. That's not delusional, that's a strategy. And once you understand this, optimism stops being something some people have and becomes something you can build every day. Imagine you're going through this problem and then you are thinking it's not possible for me to do this because of this scenario. But imagine you look at the problem like something like you have to find a solution no matter what. You're going through one of the worst and the worst side of your life which you have never expected. Maybe it's going to be a heartbreak. Maybe it's going to be people letting you down. Maybe it's so personal that you don't even want to say to anybody else, but want to figure out exactly what you want from your life. So write it down somewhere. This is my problem, and come to three solutions A, B, C. You can't say that I can't achieve this because I don't have this. I can't do this because I don't have certain things. Someone long ago told me to be an artist, you don't have to have excellent tools, but rather you should find a solution to bring the creativity out of you. Even if you have a piece of charcoal in your hand and then there is a barren land in front of you, if you have the mindset of an artist, you would create a masterpiece out of that piece of charcoal. Do you understand how simple life is? You don't have to have excellent tools to achieve greatness, but rather the simplest tool you have currently can bring the greatness out of you. The current problem would be the exact place you have to be to get the greatness out of you. And that's how the mindset simply shift from being pessimist to optimist. That's simple as it is. Why optimism matters more than you think. Let's talk about why optimism isn't fluffy, it's functional. It influences the decision you make. When you are pessimistic, you think everything might go wrong. So you avoid taking action. One hell of a person we are, right? We don't take action at all. We try to guilt ourselves by saying this is not possible by us. This is how our life has written. This is how our future is going to be, isn't it? We are such a pessimistic person. I hate being pessimistic. But once when you're optimistic, you think something good would come from this. So you're willing to try. That alone changes the direction of your life. So, the difference between pessimist and optimist, if I have to explain, is you don't trust yourself enough. You trust your surrounding more. Trust me, don't trust your surrounding at all. It's one of the most lamest thing you could do is to trust around your surrounding, because there are so many out there who don't want best for you except for you yourself alone. So start being optimistic from today and have this thought in your head: good will come to me, and you will give a try for that. Opportunities rarely show up fully formed. Trust me, the problem may be the opportunity for you to solve and excel. They show up disguised as tiny risk, and only optimistic takes them. The future is uncertain. The present is terrible. The past is don't even ask me kind of. But what you can do today is as simple as taking one tiny risk a day, one tiny decisions a day. It's gonna break your brain to core. It's gonna crumble your thought to core. And you will come to a time where like, am I really that person who's gonna go through this? Am I really the person who's gonna take this action? Yes, absolutely yes. You're that person who's gonna take that risk and march forward. Optimism improves emotional recovery, something I learned in years. Ever notice how some people bounce back quickly while others stay down for weeks? It's not that the first group doesn't feel pain, it's that they interpret the time and the pain as temporary, not as a final verdict. Optimism shortens the emotional distance between falling and getting up, and that distance is where growth happens. I also read somewhere and I also listened to somewhere, you should celebrate and you should actually be sad exactly for the time moment. For if you are going to celebrate for 10 days, you should celebrate sadness for 10 days, or you should be sad for 10 days. If you're going to celebrate for 1 hour, you should be sad for 1 hour. You should not make those changes apart. But we as a pessimistic, we often tend to dwell in the sadness for years and months and ages. I don't know how long we sit in being sadness for things that does not happen in our way. But we celebrate for the very short moment of time. Like, yeah, I got promoted. Yeah, I got clear. That's it. 1 second, you're happy, your dopamine hits, and that's it. But the sadness being part of you being pessimistic keep on happening. From today, we'll do one thing. If you're going to celebrate, we're going to celebrate for one day. If you're going to be sad, we're going to keep that alarm for bloody 24 hours. And we be sad for just 24 hours. And then afterward, we are back on track like nothing happened. Let's just do this. And give me a promise in the comment, okay? We're going to be sad for one day. We're going to celebrate for a day. If we're going to celebrate for 10 days, we're going to be sad for 10 days. That's how your calendar should be scheduled, okay? Some of the strategies we are going to follow to train optimism is just a skill. The number one is 10 by 10 by 10 frame. When something stresses you out, like I said, a mistake, a disagreement, a moment of embarrassment, pause and ask, will this matter in 10 minutes? Will it matter in 10 months? Will it matter in 10 years? This forces your brain to zoom out from the emotional moment. Most problems shrink under perspective. This technique stops you from letting a small moment shape your whole day. One of the greatest skill one can achieve is to be in good mood, however your life is, whether it may be happy or sad. You making sure that you're going to spend the wonderful day is up to you. So try to follow the 10 by 10 by 10 frame. Number two, the optimism anchor. Think of an anchor as a belief that grounds you when your emotions start drifting. An anchor could be, I have survived 100% of my hardest day. There is something and always something I can control. This story isn't over. You repeat this whenever life gets messy. I will repeat this again. One, you have survived 100% of your hardest days. There's always something you can control. This story isn't over, my love. Okay? Keep repeating until you, or keep repeating whenever your life gets messy. It's that simple. Anchor prevents your thought from spiraling. They give your mind a stable place to land. Number three, and most important, surround yourself with expansive people. It's not expensive, it's expansive. You can't grow in a room full of shrinking energy. Trust me, when you are in a full room full of tiny, narrow mindset, walk out of it like you never even entered the room. People are emotional mirrors. If you're around fear, you will feel fear. If you're around possibility, you will feel possibility. Ask yourself who drains you, who lifts you, who challenges you become better. Sometimes the fastest way to build optimism is to change the conversation you are having. Number four, practice micro optimism. This is one of the most realistic ways to become more optimistic. Don't try to be positive for your whole day. Just try to be positive for next 5 seconds. 5 seconds to take a breath, 5 seconds to respond instead to react, 5 seconds to choose a calmer interpretation. 5 seconds is enough time to interpret a pattern, and sometimes that's all you need. Optimism isn't built by dramatic shifts, it's built by these tiny choices. Number five of the strategy is the opposite day technique, something I really enjoy. Your brain loves worst case scenarios. It's wired for survival, not happiness. So when your mind gives you a negative interpretation, challenge it by asking, what's the opposite explanation that could also be true? I will repeat the question. You're going to ask your brain when it gives you the negative thought. What's the opposite explanation that could also be true? For example, your friend didn't text back. Your brain says they are ignoring me. But the opposite possibility is they are busy, they saw it but forgot, or they are overwhelmed today. Second interpretation is your performance review at work is delayed. Your brain says, I'm in trouble. The opposite is my manager is overloaded or they want more time to give meaningful feedback. We are not pretending everything is perfect. We are simply reminding the mind that negativity is not the only story. The last bit of our today's podcast, the daily habit that quietly changes everything. There is a small habit that with huge psychological payoff or effect. Every night, three things going well plus one thing you're looking forward to. Okay? Most people end their day replaying what went wrong. This teaches the brain to look for problem. Every day when we are in a bed, our brain automatically gives how was our day? Was it happy? Was it sad? Was it trouble? Whatever it may be. But when you list three good things and one thing tomorrow might bring, so your mind will automatically shift from survival mode to opportunity mode. Your brain begins scanning for progress, not danger, for joy, not tension, for possibility, not stress. Over time, these habits rewire the part of your brain responsible for emotional filtering. It literally trains you to see life differently. This is where optimism starts, and it is actually where it stops being an idea and you stop becoming a reflex part of your life. It is very easy to be said, but if you have to look forward to a reality, just make sure you do one thing at a time, either the 10 by 10 by 10 reframe, or you can do three good things and one things for tomorrow, which is really helpful. Or the other and the last I would always request is the opposite answer. Optimism isn't magic, it's maintenance, it's daily practice, it's choosing not to let circumstances dictate your entire outlook. Some days will feel heavy, and that's totally fine and okay. But if we can keep even a small spark of belief alive, that spark can grow. It can guide you, it can rebuild your confidence, it can change the direction of your whole story. I would not less emphasis on the fact being optimism is one of the best thing you could do for yourself, but would also request you to share it with the right set of people who may need this. Thanks for tuning in for today's podcast. If this episode brought you value, inspiration, or even one new idea, share it with someone like I said, or share it your thought on how stay being optimistic and what I can take away from this lesson. Until next time, stay curious, stay hopeful, and keep choosing the better story. You deserve to be optimistic. See you all in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye.